All right. So placing my hands on my heart, taking that deep breath of love and gratitude. So grateful and thankful for this moment to be able to come together and be the two or more who are gathered in the name and the nature of love. Grateful to let go of anything that came before this moment and to set aside anything that is to come after our session today, knowing that we will easily and effortlessly be able to pick it up again if it is ours to do. We are grateful and thankful for our dedication, our devotion to remembering our true identity, which is unconditional love, perfect wholeness, joy, harmony, clarity, the all good. We are grateful for our mighty companions, our earthly and heavenly helpers. We ask that they join us now, surrounding and supporting us, blessing and guiding us. Blessing all who are here, all who may listen later. We are grateful to receive their inspiration for our intention for this study group session today. And we are grateful to be great receivers, open-hearted, open-minded receivers. We are claiming the all good in the kingdom of heaven right here and right now for ourselves. And we are grateful to be able to share the benefits of all that we receive and all that we are with Mother Earth and all her beings, because we are one. In grace and gratitude, we let it be, and so it is. Amen. So we are beginning chapter 11, God or the Ego, and starting with section 1, Your Place in God's Mind. And I'm just going to read the first paragraph and share what I got from that today. Either God or the ego is insane. If you will examine the evidence on both sides fairly, you will realize that this must be true. Neither God nor the ego proposes a partial thought system. Each is internally consistent, but they are diametrically opposed in all respects, so that partial allegiance is impossible. But remember that their results are as different as their foundations, and their fundamentally irreconcilable natures cannot be resolved by your vacillations. Nothing alive is fatherless, for life is creation. Therefore, your decision is always an answer to the question, who is my father? And you will be faithful to the father that you choose. Hi, Priscilla. So I kind of got like a funny, which I was happy for because I'm interested in more joy and delight this year. A funny example of this is when Rudy was still alive in the physical body, he would come to bed really late, like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and he would feed the cats before he came to bed. Well, the cats still want to be fed at that hour. I'm asleep then. And so we've been having off and on battles since Rudy's transition, where they are attempting to wake me up so that I can feed them at that time. And one of the things that they had started doing is they will jump on the bed, and then they will jump on the back of the headboard, and then they will jump on top of my nightstand, which I have nightstands that go almost floor to ceiling like tall bookshelf kind of things. And on top of each one, I have like a beautiful silk plant because I can't have real plants in the house because the cats will eat them and most of them are poisonous. And so they jump up there, one or both of them will take turns doing this. And first of all, it scares the bejesus out of me. And then they start chomping on the silk flowers, which is not good for them. But I thought to myself this morning after I read that, like, okay, either I, and who is the I that I'm talking about here? It's the ego. Either I want to have pretty things or I want to sleep. And then I thought, what is the meaning I'm making of the pretty things? Because what really came up when I was thinking that was um, a belief and a thought that I have heard myself and other people around me, probably family members, say over and over again: we can't have nice things. And I've said that we can't have nice things. Rudy has said it too, because of the cats, because they destroy everything because they're kittens and they have claws. And so, anyway, so I thought that is a perfect example of where I am completely allowing my ego mind to run the show. Like, just take the plant down. So what? It's not as pretty as you want it to be. If the goal is to get sleep at night, then take the pretty thing that the cats are going after to wake you up in the middle of the night down. So I did that just this morning after I read this. I'll let you know how it works out. But I just thought, how perfect that was. Like, I was, for whatever reason, some part of me, the ego part, was like making a stand on, I have to have this pretty thing in my bedroom because that's how I decorated it when I redecorated the room a couple years ago. And so I'm grateful that that thought came up: I can't have nice things, and that I can put that in a closet and get some regular sleep, which is really going to be better for me. And the nice thing will be being more sane because I'm well rested. And who knows what will come from that nice thing. And letting go of that thought, I can't have nice things because of the cats. Anyway, it was kind of a crazy way to take my mind when I read it, but that's where it started me off. Anybody else have anything that they got from the reading or from something that's happened in their life this week, or something I shared, or something else going on?
Hi, I
Hi.
can go next. Hi, everyone. It's funny. I love that part of Who is My Father? Super short and gets me straight to the point, and it pauses me when I know that I've been going to the rabbit hole, fighting ego with ego. And about what you were saying about having nice things, it's funny because when my daughter, when Olivia was born, I had white sofa, and it was very impressive, like in the living room, and everyone was like, that's it, that's the end of your beautiful living room. With a kid you cannot have white things. And my earthly mom, she always has had nice things, and she told me like, you were super educated, and your brother as well, and you can educate Olivia that you don't eat chocolate and on the couch, and that you know. And I was like, yeah, that's right. So I have never had that feeling like, because I have a small kid I cannot have nice things, because I know a lot of my friends do have that thought. Like, I don't even bother to, like, I don't even bother anymore. I just know that I cannot have nice things and that my clothes is going to be all spilled and, like all that mess. And that is still an opinion. That is just your perception around something, and it's the interpretation that you're given to the circumstance that you have small kids. It hasn't happened to me. Actually, we moved, that we moved. We redecorate everything in the new house. We still have white things, actually even whiter because here everything is like Sweden woods that they're very, very pale and no accidents. So yeah, it's very interesting that notion of it's just interpretation, it's just the programming that you received, and we are allowed to have nice, beautiful things. And but I understand that at this point you appreciate your sleeping time way more than the silk plan, and that is also that's fine too. So
Yeah.
you do what you gotta do. And the who and going back to the who is my father, short and sweet. I was talking a couple of weeks ago about there is a part, and I think it's in psychotherapy. I don't remember very well the text, but I read it. But it said something like, believe in God is not very useful because as you believe, you cannot believe. I need you to know your father. Knowing is a different thing. And I was telling the person that I was discussing this, now that I'm away from my parents, but I still know if they were close to me, I know how they smell. I can sense them.
Yeah.
I don't even have to touch them and I don't even have to have their perfume or anything. I know who my father is. I know who my father and my mother, my earthly father and mother are, biological. And that's the experience that I want to have with my Heavenly Father. I want to know God. I don't want to believe in God. And that's why I take time to come into these meetings, to be reading the books, to be doing my silence, quiet time, because especially in the quietness, especially in the silence, is where I get to experience Him. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Beautiful, Priscilla. Thank you.
thank you.
Yeah, my sense is with the silk plants that they'll get bored because they won't be able to, or they'll find another way, who knows. But I feel like taking the silk plant down, that eventually it will retrain them that they don't get fed in the middle of the night. They get
Yeah.
fed during the day while I'm normally awake. That's my
Yeah.
sense anyway.
Yeah.
And so I feel like, oh, well, that's really
Let
smart.
us let us know how that goes because
Yeah,
there's
I will. I will
if
because
there
I
were
just,
dogs, I would say like, yeah, that's probably going to, but they're cats,
yeah,
so
yeah, because I know like I can have nice things. I can shoot the moon, I can go
yeah,
for broke. I can do, I can have anything I really want. And if I really want to have that beautiful silk plant up there, it will happen.
yeah.
I just have to be patient, which is the willingness affirmation card I pulled today. I'm willing to practice patience. So, yeah, I'm glad you still have your white couch, Priscilla. That's really cool. Good
Thank you.
example. Yeah, thank you. Go ahead, Carla. And
Yeah,
welcome, Kathleen.
I'm really surprised that people feed cats. Like they have 5 cats here, and they feed them like 3 times a day. But I had a cat years ago. I always had food. I always had food. He just ate whenever he needed to, and it's so. It's so surprising to me. This seems more complicated than I ever imagined. But I must admit, I didn't read this at all. This section. And what's really interesting is I opened it. I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta read it in that half an hour or something. And there was one line underlined, and I did not underline. I did not even read it. How did it get underlined? I have no idea, but I'll read it to you. Uh, Paragraph 10, line 5. The universe of love does not stop because you do not see it. And that's all I have underlined, but I read the rest of the line. And your clothesline closed eyes have not lost the ability to see. And I thought I'd read again something I read before, and I don't know where it is, but this is what I opened to. And so I want to read the words. Maybe I'll put in the song. Remember the person in National Living used to write music? What's your remember her name?
Faith Rumor?
No.
No, another one. I don't know.
So
Or Ted Schwartz.
no, it's a female.
Okay.
But I have a song that for some reason I have no idea. Wrote down these words, and I asked her to put it to music, and she did, and she really made it into a beautiful little song. And so, and now this was probably 8 or 9 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So let me read the words. I am committed to love, because I am love. I am committed to me, being the love I am. I am free, free to be me. Free, free, free. I am me. I am me. Sinless and free. I am me. I am me. Can you see? I am me. I am me. Sinless and free. I am me. I am me. Who else could I be? And I don't know why those words came to me, and I don't know why I contacted her. This I put it in thing. But she made a beautiful song, and really,
That was Maggie Burns. Her name just came to me.
oh yeah, there
Yeah.
is Maggie.
Mm-hmm.
And what? And so I'm looking at the universe of love does not stop because you do not see it. And what I'm hearing from what the shares is, I think it's lesson 2. We give meaning to everything. We give them. Nothing is what you think, right? Number 1, and then 2, we give the meaning to everything. Now, that's what, in the way we have to do that, because whenever, say, stoplight, you're driving a car and you're red, or you have to know, if to give the meaning to it, red, green, yellow. And that's what the mind does. It's not just when we need it, when it's important, more important, I guess, but it's all the time. The meaning does that all the time. And that's what we have to notice, what we're doing and how we're doing it. And if we're noticing that we're doing it, I mean, that's what I used to do all the time. I give meaning all the time. And now I'm recognizing I still see it. But here's the truth. Is my meaning more important than God or God's love? More powerful than God or God's love? So, so I guess we can just say that line, like, who's my father? Who is? So I ask, what is the meaning I desire? You know, and I have to let go. I mean, stop in this world. If I told some people some of the stuff that I've experienced, they go, I mean, it used to happen. I used to try to explain David before we lived together, and people would say, "Oh, I think you should, he's taking advantage of you." And now he takes care of me. If I listen to them, look, or do you think I'd be in a home or something? And I've been in 2 of them, and they're not very wonderful places to be. believe me, the second one smelled terrible. And, and I think I've heard that people don't live that long in homes. They don't get the same love as like you. The father lives it. And he's almost 90. I think he's maybe 90. But I don't know how long it's been. It's been like over 20 years. And that's when time that, you know, I'm not sure I'd last 20 years because they don't care. You know, they do their job, and listen, they don't care. They do the job and they're very committed to that. They're not giving it up. And so if you know, it might be very challenging to love what I'm experiencing then. So I don't know what I'm saying, but sometimes it's out. But so read that line one more time. I read that twice. The universe of love does not stop just because you do not see it. So that is every moment, every meaning you give to every single friggin' experience. The universe of love does not stop just because you do not see it. Mm-hmm. And just because we not give it something a meaning, that meaning, we think that's ever stopped. It's never stopped. You cannot stop love. You can prevent it you can slow it down or by giving you meaning. Because I think it doesn't stop love, but it puts up roadblocks. What the meaning we give everything. The meaning everybody is given everything. And so the whole world has forgotten our Father, forgotten love. And so it's just, I used to get upset and I realized, what am I feeding? What am I giving my energy to? So just allow everything and do my best to be grateful. Because, I mean, I can 30, I don't know how far, 30 to 50 feet. I'm getting hit by a train like 15 years ago or something. But I didn't. And the miracle happened. I should, something I've never done. I never did any other time. I did it one time, and so I was saved. So I know love does not stop. It was active then. And so it is active then, it's active every meaning I give, everything that happens. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Carla. Yeah, we don't know what anything is for. Anybody else have anything to share?
I'm going to stop one thing. It's not that everything everybody chooses is good. It's like, it doesn't mean that. It means God uses everything for love. So it doesn't matter what anybody chooses, whether it takes a minute or a year or a decade or a lifetime or millennia. I don't know. But I do know this. God utilizes everything for love. He's the master weaver, and he's constantly weaving love from everything that happens. So thank you.
Yeah, thanks for that reminder. Kathleen, did you have something to share?
Well, I just like this whole thing. It's really upbeat and happy. like the paragraph number 1, number 6. Nothing alive is fatherless for
Number
life.
6. I was going to go over there. Go ahead.
What? What?
She said that that's that's where she went.
Yeah, I was going to read number 6. Go ahead.
Okay. Nothing alive is fatherless, for life is creation. So I just wrote in there, I am alive. So are the plants, the animals, the stars, the rocks, everything. Everything alive is creation and has God as its father. Therefore, your decision is always an answer to the question, who is my father? And you will be faithful to the father you choose. Now that's between the ego and God. Um, yeah, I feel like we could just read the whole thing out. Anyway, then all the references to then down in number 3, you have made by projection, but God is created by extension. The cornerstone of God's creation is me, for his thought system is light. Now that just seems a little bit different than a lot of the course, but his thought system is light. Remember the rays that are there unseen. The more you approach the center of his thought system, the clearer the light becomes. The closer you come to the fountain, yeah, with ego, blah. But so I just love all the references to light, and then all the references to our creations, which are, oh my God, they're all over the place.
Mhm.
Um, let's see. Well, the end of number 7, extension, number 5, extension cannot be blocked. It has no voids. It continues forever. However much it is denied. Your denial of its reality arrests in time, but not in eternity. Um, that is why your creations have not ceased to be extended, and why so much is awaiting your return. And I always just right then just want to leave the dream right now and
Mhm.
go look at my creations, which are extending all over the place forever. I really want to see these creations. Um, Down in number 10, God is not incomplete. He's not childless because he didn't will to be alone. He created a son like himself. Do not deny him his son, for your unwillingness to accept his fatherhood has denied you yours. See his creation as his son, for yours were created in honor of him, my creations. The universe of love does not stop because you do not see it, and your closed eyes have not lost you the ability to see. Look upon the glory of his creation, and you will learn what God has kept for you. I don't know, it's just also lovely, really
Yeah.
beautiful. And then I just had a little miracle happen, which I was going to report to my miracle group on Monday. We're still meeting. We've been meeting for years. Such a nice little group of people, all Jennifer's past students and stuff. There's about 6 of us. Um, I was at a drum circle party and I had a flat tire, so I had to take an Uber there. Me and my friend Jeannie, we took an Uber, and I asked my friend Karen, I was getting nervous. Who's going to give us a ride home? So I said, Karen, could you give us a ride home? And she's like, I have to have preparation before people ask me that. I can't do it all of a sudden. I just can't. And she just instantly got triggered and was feeling guilty, like I guess everyone feels when someone asks them for a ride and they know they don't want to do it. And so she said, I don't like to be roped into things, and walked away. And I just stood there like, and said something like, or I had said something like, well, I don't like asking either. It makes me nervous to ask. And then she said, I don't like being roped into things, and walked away. And later she texted me and she said, please don't make me feel ashamed when I have to say no. I'm taking care of my boundaries. And she just started going on and on about stuff she thought she heard me say and I never said. And anyway, it just got really weird. So I wrote back and just like, I didn't say that, but whatever, whatever. And then last night there was another tiny group of people that got together, and there she was. So we just, as soon as we saw each other, we just like smiling and like, what the fuck was that? And we gave each other a hug. And I'm like, that was all ego thought system. She's like, yeah, I know, I know, I know. And then she said, I love you. And I said, I love you. So I was so glad that I saw her so soon after the weird conversation and that we instantly both knew that it was just ego. It was ridiculous. And we just went on and walked around this really cool light show last night. So to me, it was such an obvious ego thing when it was happening. And even my little getting a little taken aback or defensive, I knew that was ego. I knew exactly the whole thing as it was happening and that it was ridiculous and that we would get over it. And we did instantly. She said she'd done the same thing with a guy at work. She said, yeah, he and I looked at each other and went, are we through? And he's like, yeah. And then they just
Love
went
that.
back to normal. So, yeah, if there's enough people that know about the ego thought system, then when you have these little kerfluffles, then you can just like go, oh, are we done? You know, maybe that was amusing, but not really at all.
Yeah.
Felt icky. So anyway, I just appreciate the world becoming more enlightened and more people knowing that they don't have to keep going with the duking it out,
Right.
especially me and me. I could
Yeah.
just accept. And then I was listening to Robert Perry. Oh, was on, it's a YouTube, Robert and Emily talking about forgiveness and what that means and how to do it. And Robert was great. He's like, it's a process, you guys. You don't have to like suddenly forgive. If you got someone that's hard to forgive or an incident that's hard to forgive, let yourself be. It's a process. If you can't forgive it right away, just let it be. It will be forgiven in time. And so, oh, okay. Just all this accepting of myself as I am right now, uh, feels so good. And not pushing ourselves to understand and perform more than we can in the moment. Um, anyway, and it's Christmas time, and I felt a little strange, um, because it's just me and my cat, and maybe some people from the drum circle, and all my brothers and sisters. They're all got lots of family, and but one of my sisters, her daughters aren't speaking to her, so it's just all this stuff. Anyway, Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh, and Mary Ann with the Circle of Atonement just got done right before this, doing this beautiful talk on, the birth of Christ within us, and that's what Christmas is about. And it was really wonderful, the talk, all about what Jesus is talking about, um, God and Jesus being born within us. It's really nice. And there got lots of replays. If you join them, it's only 25 a month. Tons of replays, years of replays. It's so good.
I'm so glad you had that miracle, Kathleen.
Yeah, it's a nice miracle.
Yeah. What a nice little Christmas gift.
Yes, it was fun. It was really fun.
And I can sense that when you were talking about how Robert says forgiveness is a process. I was just talking to one of my clients a few days ago about that. Because she was saying, my God, I feel like I've forgiven this so many times. And I said that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So you forgive as much as you can each time. It doesn't mean that you're doing it wrong. It doesn't mean that you're a bad spiritual student, but those are like the things that we say to ourselves. But I expressed to her, I said, like, I had this thing that was super intense for me, and I felt like I had to forgive it so many times. But now when I talk about it, I have no emotional attachment to it at all.
Nice. No charge.
And
Yep.
it seemed like it was so incredibly intense. I was going to this doctor back in the late 80s, early 90s, and it was an endocrinologist. He was the only specialist endocrinologist in my area where I live. And I was going to him for a couple of years, and I got a knock on the door, and it was these two guys from the FBI. And I'm like, okay, well, come to find out, he was not every time you would go there to visit the doctor, he would take blood and urine samples, but he was like hoarding them in the garage. He was not doing the tests. And come to find out that 2 of the medications that I was taking, this is like before, you had the internet to look all this shit up, were amphetamines. Like,
What was his trip?
I was taking, well, I'm thinking, I've come to realize that he was probably addicted to his own medications, and that's what was happening. Like he was just spiraling because like he lost his license, his wife left him, like, lots of really horrible things happened to him. And I blamed him for so long because after I stopped going to him and I stopped taking the medication, I gained like 50 pounds that I really haven't ever been able to lose all the way and keep off, because my metabolism was screwed from taking amphetamines for 2 years. Now, when I think about it, it's insane. It's so insane. But I don't, when I think about it now, I just think about that poor man. He was a drug addict and he was spiraling out of control. And so I don't have I don't hold any animosity toward him. I wish him well. So yeah, forgiveness is a process and it takes as long as it takes and whatever.
I just don't want to put things back on the altar because I'm addicted to feeling bad and guilty. Like,
Right.
oh, Jesus, I'm so awful. I just have to put that back on the altar so I can start all over forgiving myself,
Yeah.
Don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Or come back over and over, live here over and over again because I'm
Right.
addicted to being a jerk or addicted to, the ego.
Right. Yeah.
Get it?
Yeah. Amen to that. Go ahead, Carla.
Okay. David says sometimes you can't stop yourself. He told me about some experience. I can't remember the exact details of it. But he had an experience and he knew the whole time he was doing it that it was ego, but he could not stop himself. And I think it's not that we're bad and wrong, that if we're that through which life passes, well, ego is part of life too, right? So do we have to let ego pass, flow through us? And it's like, then we're given such a perfect example of loving ourselves and not judging ourselves, and because we did it, but we let it go because it's not real. That's the thing, is we're making it real, like it's true. Because if only love is real and it wasn't love, then it's not real. It didn't really happen. I mean, you had the experience and it's gone. And it's like, I think I don't know how to have the experience. Like, I do a lot of quotes. There's this group I'm part of, I do quotes all the time. It says, you can't go back to the beginning and change the beginning, but you can change the ending by what you do right now. So, and just remember that each moment is the now moment. If you did ego, you know what? It is not the now moment anymore. It's already the past. You can't change it. It's like, so what is feeling guilty about something? Is that helpful? Is that really helpful? So the key is, what do I choose to do now? So that's the same, which father do I choose? If we're choosing guilt, are we choosing the Father? Because God is love. Love is God. And so you're choosing God when you choose love. And so it's just so amazing how we get all these opportunities, so many, and freaking endless supply of opportunities to choose ourselves, because we are love too, because we're one with God. It's I find it so beautiful and so amazing, because I don't think I could grieve that. I don't know, it's just so amazing. Thank
Yeah, thanks, Carla.
Yeah, I would like to go to paragraph 6 because then Kathleen read sentence 6, but paragraph 1, and I thought she was talking about paragraph 6. So it says, to be alone is to be separated from infinity. But how can this be if infinity has no end? No one can be beyond the limitless because what has no limits must be everywhere. There are no beginnings and no endings in God, whose universe is Himself. Can you exclude yourself from the universe or from God, who is the universe? I and my Father are one with you, for you are part of us. Do you really believe that part of God can be missing or lost to Him? And then paragraph 7, sentence 1. If you were not part of God, His will would not be unified. Is this conceivable? Can part of His mind contain nothing? If your place in His mind cannot be filled with anyone except you, and you're feeling it was your creation, without you, there will be an empty place in God's mind. Ah, God is not complete without me.
Yeah, yeah.
Extension cannot be blocked.
There's a space where we fit in like a peg.
Ah,
Yeah.
beautiful.
I wonder if in 6, can you exclude yourself from the universe or from God, who is the universe? Now, is that the same universe that's we're looking at out there? I don't think so, but I wonder why they use the same word. Because we created this universe, Big Bang. And so I'm kind of curious why they use the word universe, but it's beyond my comprehension.
I feel like the concept of the universe, like in our human mind,
Hmm.
we think of the universe as being out there.
Hmm.
But in the mind of creation, we are the universe,
Hmm.
walking around thinking that we're a human body.
Right, that we're a body. Hmm.
But we're not a human body. We are the universe.
Light.
Yeah. So I think when they use it here, it's just so that we can kind of let go of our idea of what we think the universe is. I mean,
Hmm. Right, that it's
all
out there.
yeah, also in that part where he says to be alone is to be separated from infinity, but how can this be if infinity has no end? Like
Hmm.
when I think about that, say in reference to what I was talking about with that doctor, like there is nothing for me to forgive of him or myself, including the time that I was holding on to blaming him
Hmm.
for what happened. That, I don't have any sense of guilt or shame because I was blaming him for all those years, because I know time is just a concept, it's not
Mhm.
real. So, as soon as I was willing to let go of the idea that it was his fault and that anything at all happened that was bad or wrong, like he's not feeling any shame or blame from me. And I don't need to feel any guilt or shame about blaming him because it never happened. It never
Never
happened.
happened. Right.
So, again,
Because
it's
it
like,
never happened, but even though if we created this universe with the script in it, we brought it into it to participate in our scene. So he's just playing his part. That's
right.
how I'm seeing it. And that's
Yes.
why I think that forgiveness is becoming something super organic to me. because I'm always seeing everyone as I brought this and I'm 100% responsible for it. And
Yeah.
I don't blame myself. Sometimes it's like, why did I bring this? I have no idea, but I don't really need to know, like I can rest in that. If it came, it's because something good will come out of this.
Yeah.
And but if I go it's super metaphysic and super to the core, it's not even real. But
Right.
that doesn't help. That doesn't help. Like sometimes it does, sometimes it gives me like that distance.
Yeah.
But most of the time what helps is I brought this. And it's going to be for my good because I can choose again and I can choose again and I can choose again. So I'm just cleaning. I see it like that. I'm cleaning and cleaning and cleaning the script, choosing the right scenes for me to, because it does says in the course that the 3D world that we're participating in, it's a learning device. Here, learning is necessary. In heaven, you don't need to know because in heaven you have knowledge. But here you do need to learn, and that's why you're keeping, like. But it's so lovely. I used to be so mad, so mad at it. How the fuck are you telling me that I brought this to my life? How is
Right.
it possible? How did I? And now
Yeah.
it's like, okay, I don't quite understand it, but I can accept it. And please, Holy Spirit, let me see this through your eyes. Give me the vision because definitely, without you, and you and I are one. So I know it's my higher self talking. So I know that it's a done deal. The forgiveness part is a done deal. Obviously, when we think about the timeline and we think that it's straight,
Yeah.
it seems like that it takes time. But forgiveness is just a holy instant. It's an
Yeah.
instant.
Yeah. What's real is eternity and infinity and
Infinity. Yes. That
uh,
has no end
yeah, yeah. And
and no beginning.
I think that's part of what for a moment I was thinking I was just delusional because I was so tired and sleep deprived. But like yesterday I was thinking about like all of the things that I have been through in this seeming lifetime, which, I know in my heart of hearts, none of it is real. That is my creation. I created this life that I seem to be living with all of the challenges and all of the blessings and all of that. And I can really understand, like with every part of my being, the whole idea of, yeah, you only need the faith of a mustard seed, but in truth, you really have to be 100% in. You really have to be all in order to be able to live through these difficulties. And that makes me a spiritual badass. Like
Mm.
every single one of us here, we are spiritual badass because our lives have not been easy if you look at it from a human perspective.
Mhm.
But we are still here and we are still mostly at peace and we are still interested in creating love and creating peace and joy and and having beauty and whimsy and stuff like that in our lives. So go ahead, Carla.
And who needs to know? Because God already knows. And so who needs to know? So when you go and you think you need to know or want to know, then that's what ego does. It gives the meaning to everything because it needs to know, because it doesn't know. But God knows. And so the we who are part of God, we know. We just don't know we know sometimes. But that's because ego is, when we come in this world, we could join a body, ego becomes very, very it seemed dominant. And I think it wasn't like that originally. That's the way it is now. It's so people feel things. And I think that's real because they feel it, right? If it's not love, then it can't be real, but they feel it. They go, I was so angry. I don't put on this anymore because I'm angry. Because they believe it. They believe it's real, but it's not love. It's not real. It's not, I don't know. David says real is not the right word. It's not true. It is not true.
Mm-hmm. Who needs to know? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and it's like it says in here something about, even if you close your eyes, you can still see.
Mm-hmm.
It's that same thing that Michael Beckwith says, when you believe more in what you don't see than what you do see, then you will see what you don't see and you won't see what you do see. That, yeah.
And I have this written on my bathroom wall, happiness looks on everything and sees it as the same. Everything is the same.
Yeah.
There's no meaning to it at all. There's a new kids book out for uh, studying the Course in Miracles with children.
Mm-hmm.
It, shoot, I had the thing. It's put out by a self-publishing organization called Lulu, and it's called Guiding Ollie. And it's really good. It starts out with lesson number one. The monkey's going through the trees, and this voice comes out of the jungle and says, Ollie, nothing that you're looking at has any meaning at all. And so Ollie's like, oh, okay. Well, now it's much easier to see the beauty of the jungle because none of it has any meaning. And I'm like, oh, that's a really good explanation. So I haven't read the whole book yet, but
What is it? Is it a book?
yes, it's a book called, um, what did I just say? Guiding Ollie, Ollie. He's a monkey. So the whole book is full of a few illustrations, mostly words. It's put out by Lulu, which is a self-publishing house. So somebody has written this book with the help of AI. They even talk about how AI helped them write it, and it's available through a self-publishing pl place called Lulu. And I bought it, and I'm looking through it, and I think it's pretty much really right on, and it very explains things simply. Because when I first read this, look around, none of this has any meaning. I'm like, what? What? Of course it has meaning. God, I was a physical therapist. That had meaning. I helped children. That had meaning. But
Mm-hmm.
nothing has meaning.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That means everything's the same. Happiness looks on everything and sees it as the same. I can just be happy and just look at the world and look at the things I've done. Yay. Look at, you know, they don't have to have meaning. I just did them because I felt guided by God. I guess it's hard.
Good. You were also telling something that struck a chord there, like if everyone knew about ego, and it will be so much easier
Yep.
to stop like, but I feel, again, personal opinion, personal experience, but I've seen it with my husband because he does not do A Course in Miracles at all, but he's very into Stoicism. And there's this American author, Ryan Holiday, and he wrote a book called Ego is the Enemy. And I was reading it. It's very interesting, very, very interesting stuff. Of course, it's not coming from the course ego concept, but it's quite similar because I think humanity knows what ego is, even if it's our own fabrication. We know that that's not real. We know that it's the voice in our heads that keep us small, keep us selfish. And so I love it. I love it because the course says that it's not the only path, that God will be really selfish if it only give us one road. So I think there is an awakening. I do believe that because I can see it. Again, it's my experience, but here, like in Europe, you walk and people are like, they're not they're not Catholic anymore or anything like that, even though you have a church like in every block. But they do know about ego and they do know about the voice in your head that is keeping you small. It's so, so interesting because there are a lot of new teachers from, like the Stoics and the Taoism and the Buddha, like, and so I think that at some point, especially with the little kids, that's why I wrote down the name of the book because I can see they're way, way, way more awake. And something super funny happened with Olivia because the teacher told us that she was having trouble distinguishing between the boy and the girl. And I told her, like, Olivia, what is it that you don't get? What is a boy? What is a girl? When she was drawing them, she's like, I don't know. They're just people. They're just
Right on,
people.
Olivia. Mm,
And, and I was like, yes, you are so right. You're not seeing like a little differences. So it's just like, and what do you have? Because she goes to school here and they're like Muslims, Catholic. We have everything. It's super different than Costa Rica. And in Costa Rica, everyone is Catholic. That's it. And our skins are pretty similar. That's it. It's not like in certain cities in the States where you have all this cultural diversity. But now that we moved here, everyone is different. Everyone has their own flavors. So I thought it was going to be a shock for her. And no, she was like, they're just my friends. That's Malik. That's it, like, and I was like, oh my gosh,
yay,
I
kids.
am the one
Where do you live, Priscilla?
in Brussels.
Oh, okay.
Moved to Brussels in Belgium.
How did you pick that?
Well, my husband did.
Okay. Because yeah, I have friends that are looking all over the world for where they want to live. It's really interesting process.
It's super interesting. And the thing with Brussels is that it is the capital of the European Union. So you have every single country in here. And
Hmm.
50% of the population is an expat.
Wow.
So it's very, very interesting because you do walk and you do see people from all over the world, all over the world.
Right.
You get all the protests and you get everything. So it has been an amazing experience. And Olivia's growing up to that, and I can see her in her eyes. She's not as freaked out as I was at the beginning, like she's like, they're just friends. They're just people. They're
How
just
old is she? How old is Olivia?
5. She
Wow.
Nice
turned
age.
5.
They speak English there?
They do because of that particular thing that I was telling you, like 50% expats, so everyone speaks English. You can go to a bakery and stuff. But Belgium is very interesting because if you go outside of Brussels, which is the capital, if you go up to the north, they speak Dutch. And if you go down Brussels, they speak French. So right now,
Oh,
that was the other thing because it has been for Olivia super hard in school because she's in the French school, but she's also receiving Dutch lessons. And she was coming from Spanish and she was, like, so she's like, you guys, it's so funny. It's incredibly
hey,
messy.
Is Dutch
But
not
she's
German?
mm,
Dutch and German?
there's a part, but it's little in to the south. They have like a German colony, but no, the official languages are Dutch and
Uh,
French and English for Brussels.
how's the cost of living? Is it expensive like
It's
here?
expensive. I mean, well, this was incredible because comparing to Costa Rica, the food is super cheap and the transport, like it's actually it's kind of free. Like public transportation, only if you take the subway, you have to pay for it. But if you go in a bus or anything like that, that's free. And but yeah, the renting it's a little bit similar to the US. Like, yeah, it depends of the area.
Hmm.
But no, we're loving it. But for me, the,
Oh,
the thing that I'm most, like, it's the people. Oh my gosh, I'm so in love with the people
yes, I'm
because
sure.
I was never like open to all this diversity and all these cultures and all these different thoughts and it's beautiful. So I'm so grateful, so grateful.
Oh,
For the opportunity, yes.
And what was the book that you said that you read that was the ego's bad?
Oh yeah, this is from Ryan Holiday, and it's called Ego is the Enemy. And
Ryan.
he's like this, I don't know, he's super popular between the guys, like the men in their 40s. He has written several on the Stoicism philosophy, and it's very interesting because Stoicism what tells you is that there is acceptance in everything, but acceptance does not mean that you do not take action.
Right.
Yeah. So,
But only if you hear the Holy Spirit telling you to take action.
yeah, well, they have this, they don't call it Holy Spirit, but they call it like, yeah, like,
Higher self or higher.
yeah, it's very, very Greek and Roman.
Intuition, maybe.
No, they have a name for it. I can send you some bullets on it because it's very interesting. I will post that in the chat.
Thanks, Priscilla.
And
Okay.
you will see because it's very, very interesting. So my husband and I are getting this like open conversations about it, and I can tell ego, and he gets it, and he's like, "Yeah, definitely, blah blah blah," And we breathe, and then Olivia comes like, "Calm down, everyone, calm down," because she's like,
Aw, you're
She's
hurting
the
my heart.
enlightened one.
Right.
"It's gonna be some
Yeah.
little Buddha." My friends call her little Buddha.
Yeah.
Like, Olivia, can you pick up your toys and blah blah blah? And I'm like, okay, mom, no need to fuzz around, mom. Just like chill down, chill, mom.
Great.
But yeah,
Yeah. They are born perfect, and then we try and fit them into our idea of what
Yeah.
they need to be. So
Yeah.
that's so cool that you guys are living in such a diverse community, so that she can, the whole idea of like what you were saying, where you came from, it was all, everybody spoke Spanish and everybody was Catholic, and anything that was not that was other. And now
yes,
she's seeing there's so many other, that it's like the contrast thing just kind of falls away. Really
yes, I
cool.
understand that separation thing
Yeah.
so clearly this year, and
Yeah.
I'm so grateful for that because definitely we're coming from one mind, one love, one heart. It's just that everyone was the same.
Yeah.
Everyone was the same. And I can see the love in the mothers, and I don't care if she's Muslim or she's whatever. I can see her when
Right.
she's picking up her kids. So much love and everything. It's like
Yeah.
we have the words, like God speaks to our hearts
Yeah.
because it's universal. It's the universal language, is love. I get it.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. That's all I can say. I'm very happy with this
My
experience.
my sister's granddaughter was about 5 when somebody at school was picking on her, and she was feeling really sad and bad. And my sister just said, that everyone's got an icky voice in their heads, and sometimes it makes them be mean, but you can ignore them because they don't really mean it, and just it's not about you. It's this icky voice. Everybody's got it in their head. So and that
Mhm.
really helped this child get over it. She's like, oh, okay, no big deal.
Yeah.
Good. Good.
Ego
You
voice.
tell every kid that there's this icky voice in their head. It's not them, just
Yeah.
words going through.
Yeah.
Yeah, be good to
Wow. What a great conversation. We're past our time, so
Yeah.
but
know.
I was really thinking I'm gonna come on here. Nobody's gonna be here today because it's right
Christmas.
before Christmas. And I was totally okay with that. But I'm so glad that y'all showed up, and yeah, what a
Good
filled
Christmas.
heart-filled conversation we had. So I thank you all for that.
Mhm.
And in the blue version, I was reading this morning, chapter 15, it's section 11, is the real meaning of Christmas. And so if you have time,
It's a good one. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody. So next week, God or the ego will be our last group session for the year. And we're moving into section 2. Healing is the recognition of your will. And I'm going to close us out with lesson 57, which is today's lesson. Truth answers every call we make to God, responding first with miracles and then returning unto us to be itself. Forgiveness, truth's reflection, tells me how to offer miracles and thus escape the prison house in which I think I live. Your Holy Son is pointed out to me, first in my brother, then in me. Your voice instructs me patiently to hear your word and give as I receive. And as I look upon your Son today, I hear your voice instructing me to find the way to you, as you appointed that the way shall be. Behold his sinlessness, and be you healed. And I think that is so perfect for our Christ Christmas.
Yeah.
That we can just see and know the Christ in each other and in ourselves and in all our brothers and
Mhm.
sisters.
Mhm.
Amen.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody. I love you all so
Love you
much.
all.
Thank
Merry
you.
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Bye,
Joy to
everyone.
the world.